Hello, we're back.
Happy Friday, everyone. It's been a while.
Yeah, we took a small break, but who better than the Kardashians to bring us back together?
Oh my God, where do we begin? Okay, so of course we want to start off by saying congratulations to Kourtney Kardashian. She got engaged for the first time ever. She
Hard to
has been proposed to before, but she never
Wait,
said yes.
Scott proposed before?
Yes. Yes.
How come I don't remember this?
Because she did not say yes.
That's why. Wait, when did this proposal with Scott happen?
It was either last season or maybe this season. I think Kim asked him something, and he's like, I bought her a ring before. And they were like, what happened? Well, she was just like, oh, like, let's save this for later. Let's talk about it later. Kourtney.
Because she knew something better was coming.
Exactly.
That name being Travis Barker.
So what was your initial reaction? How do you feel?
I was so excited, and seeing those flower arrangements on the beach, like all those photos, it was just so exciting to see. And just seeing the aftermath too, like the next day she was still in disbelief, and like what that the previous day happened, and it's so warming to see love. I mean, what was your reaction when you saw it?
Obviously, I was so excited, so happy for her just because we have seen her go through her trials and tribulation with Scott. And because of her age and because of my age, not that we're very similar in ages, but I feel like the lesson that comes out of this, and I've said this to my coworkers already, I was like, the lesson is to never settle. Like, you have to know your worth. And I think when she finally broke it off with Scott, I don't know if you remember, but that was a time period where she started working out a lot. She had abs and she was very into fitness. And so I feel like you have to really know your worth, and everyone can see Kourtney as this very confident person. Even her Instagram about me a long time ago, it was heartless, just one word. So I feel like she knows what she wants, and we are so happy she didn't settle for Scott, because that is a great lesson and something that's very hard to live by, especially when she has 3 kids with him.
Especially because she is, I mean, pretty much before Travis Barker, the Kardashian world was rooting for Scott and Kourtney to somehow fix their issues and get together. And this just goes to show, no, you could move on, sure, she's had such a history with him and they have 3 kids together, but she eventually found what she's looking for.
Yes, I agree. And I even remember that one episode, I'm sure it was staged, where they went to see this psychic, and the psychic said, you and he was talking to Scott. He said, you and you're your soulmates. And I think the pressure from your family members on top of your fans commenting like, oh, I wish you would get back with Scott, or blah, 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 blah. And okay, I feel like if I had that kind of pressure, I would start to think too, like, is he really my soulmate? But I
Yeah,
think when you really dive into it, like, she knows what she wants and nobody knows how she truly feels.
mm-hmm.
And I feel like she said it to so many times to him, like, you never meet the standards, like, you break your promises. And also, he's been dating teenagers, so no.
I mean, speaking of his relationship, did you see how Amelia?
Yes.
Yeah, Amelia. So her mom is on some housewife show.
Oh my, The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. I've been
Okay.
watching clips, not episode, but I love that you bring it up. We'll talk about that too.
Said that she was so happy that their relationship ended, and they were asking her it was because of the incident that happened with Kourtney Kardashian. Yeah, that whole text thing with her ex-boyfriend, and she said that she thinks it's a bunch of things, but that one was just like the cherry on top of it all. So, I mean, Scott is probably just going through it right now. He hasn't really said anything, just more like people are saying he's upset and saddened by the whole thing or whatever. But it seems right now he just seems to be focusing on the kids. Like, he's just posting them and hanging out with them. So he's focusing on just his kids right now.
Of course. And I feel like anything Scott has to say It's not groundbreaking. It's nothing new. I feel like he's a talker. He knows what to say, and he makes all these promises and blah, 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 sweet talk, but he never goes through with it. And last time I checked his Instagram, maybe it was 1 or 2 days ago, he was posting about his clothing brand, Talentless. So at the same time, I feel like he's trying to put on this persona like, oh, I'm not affected. I'm all about my kids. I'm all about my business. And it's like, we all know that you are in shambles right now because, and I feel like us even talking about him, it just coats his ego. And in a way, he's so selfish. It's like you're the mother of your children gets engaged and you're thinking about yourself. You're not like trying to be happy for her. You're not trying to be mature. It just says a lot about him. And I think the fact that everyone in the world knows that he's depressed is just so telling. Says so much about him.
Yeah. Okay. Anything else about KRAVIS?
Okay, so I already told Melissa because we talked earlier, but I just want to give a little FYI background information in case no one knew, if you didn't know. But Kourtney Kardashian, in some ways, I do kind of relate to her because of her ability to hold a grudge. So she has held a long-time grudge against her mom for cheating on her biological father, Robert Kardashian. And in Kris Jenner's memoir, she said that Kourtney hated the idea of Kris marrying another man. And she said that Kourtney wore black for like 5 years because she was just in denial and did not want to accept anyone taking her dad's place. That's a quote from her book. And I do remember in an episode where Kourtney is hanging out with her sister, she's like, oh, I just came back from a therapy session and we were talking about mom and how she cheated on dad, and that's why I don't want to get married. And I feel like on top of Scott, she just didn't have the foundation to want to get married, and then her partner at the time was not the ideal spouse candidate, I would say. So I think a lot of people can relate to Kourtney with the fear of getting married, like worrying about not finding like the right person. But I think at her age, she's like 41 and Travis is in his early to mid 40s. So I feel like when you're at that age, you just know yourself a lot better and you know what you want and you won't settle for less. And they just seem like this punk rock couple that kind of like came out of nowhere because I didn't take Kourtney to be so hot topic. And into black and skulls and whatnot, but you know, maybe she just like had that little side and dating him just brought it out of her. Who knows? But congrats to her regardless.
Taking the new look of hers, I love it. Like her and Travis together is just, it's a look. It's a vibe.
It is.
It's like how Kim and Kanye had a certain like
aesthetic.
Yeah, a certain aesthetic like Kourtney with Travis does. Oh yeah. Well, they've been talking about her being her like baby daddy and stuff. So do you think kids are in their future?
Oh yes. Oh yes. I feel like they're probably actively trying as we speak. Because as I've watched the show, like Kourtney loves being a mom. She loves being pregnant. And on a superficial level, she is so cute when she's pregnant. And I think there's just something so endearing about someone who loves being a part of a family and just taking care of her kids, because being a stay-at-home mom, it's so hard. But I think for her, of course, she lives a very luxurious life. She has a lot of money and assets and things available to her because of her privilege. But I think people who just love their family, it's like, it definitely strikes a little bit of a chord with me. Sometimes I'm like, oh, like I so annoyed of the Kardashians, but when you think about how strong their family bond is, I sometimes get a little jealous, a little envious. It's like, dang, like at the end of the day, you have so many people against you, but if you have your family, like that kind of confidence and feeling and community is just seems almost unattainable for people who don't have good families.
Oh, this is gonna be Brady Bunch. With like his kids, her kids, and then their kids.
Oh yeah.
Did you see that one clip of Travis's son when they were at the dinner table, and he was like, "Oh, so happy for them" or something?
I didn't.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I just loved it because it kind of gives a little snippet into Travis's son's side, and like he's actually really excited for them to be together. So I mean, I just love it because it just seems like it's a good match.
I feel like the Kardashians are the best at mixed families because they have the Jenner side with like Brody and Brady and God knows who other else is on there. And then they have all these kids from like, oh, their family is just so huge and mixed. So I feel like they thrive off of that. So let's talk about a wannabe Kardashian family.
Oh wait, I still have more. Like, are we still under Kardashian and Jenner clan, or are we gonna go back to that?
Let's stay in the Jenner clan.
I just heard about this that the Kylie baby brand was originally supposed to be Chloe baby. Yeah, so apparently, like, according to TikTok researchers, if you go back into Chloe's old photos, you will actually see, like, for the Kylie baby brand, it's like all about like purple pink clouds, like cotton candy clouds. And Chloe actually has those posted as like a teaser further down in her posts. And like it just would pop up every once in a while, cotton candy clouds. But people are speculating that because of all of Chloe's drama with baby daddy Tristan, like it didn't, it's not a good look if you're trying to make a baby brand and like all this family business is out there, negative family business. So that's why it went to Kylie. But originally it was supposed to go to Chloe. I thought that was interesting.
That is interesting. I love the TikTok detectives out there.
Exactly. And speaking of Chloe, she and True just tested positive for COVID.
Again?
Again?
Don't you remember on the Kardashians, Chloe had it. She had to quarantine and everything.
I thought it wasn't like you think it's positive but it's not.
Oh, it was a false positive?
False positive, wasn't it? I don't know. I
remember.
saw today that it said Chloe and True tested positive.
She must be hiding something. She must be getting surgery again to be away from the public.
Who knows? Oh my God, maybe.
And I keep seeing her on my Twitter because she has that headache medicine advertised. I'm like, every time I see her advertisement, she looks different. Like her lips look a little bit bigger or like her hair. I'm like, girl, you look different at every angle. I'm scared.
I'm like, is this CGI? Is this real? Like, I don't know. Because in photos and video, it's just like they don't look like the same person. It looks a little different.
Exactly. And the video commercial of her, I'm like, what? What?
Dude, but that is a good conspiracy theory. I think maybe she could just be resting up from surgery.
No, I feel like that's my conspiracy theory too about a certain singer. She said her vocal cords got damaged, and then next, she said, by the grace of so many amazing doctors, my vocal cords are back and alive. But she's definitely had some work done, for sure.
Who?
SZA.
Oh, ooh. She's been gone for a while.
It looks very different from when she first came out. And people are like, oh, she just lost weight. Yes, she did lose weight, but losing weight does not give you a pointy chin. Losing weight does not change your bone structure. That's not how it works, you guys. But anyway.
Who do we have for a wannabe Kardashian?
It's a little, okay, maybe I shouldn't have said that because it's a little bit cruel considering the news that just came out. But I feel like you can't deny that Yolanda, Foster, Hadid, whatever her last name is currently, wants to make Bella and Gigi, like Kendall and Kim, like the next big hot name, which I feel like they have become a household name, at least for our generation. Like everyone knows Gigi and everyone definitely knows Bella and her surgeries as well. But was it yesterday that it broke that Yolanda files for charges against Zayn struck her?
Yeah, so yesterday it was the news that Zayn struck her, and I think today the breakup and the assault charges.
Yes. And he decided to not contest, which is totally different from pleading or anything like that. So that kind of makes me think he definitely did it and that there's much more that we don't know.
I mean, yeah, Zayn has always been a private person. He even talks about it in his post that he wrote, that he's a private person and wanted this to be a private matter, but you're a celebrity, that's not gonna happen. It's just like, damn, I wonder what went down. And this happened when Gigi was out of town.
I know.
That's kind of scary for Gigi, I feel like, because it's like, whoa, what's going on when I'm not there?
So I'm on Bella Hadid's Instagram. She no longer follows Zayn.
Ooh.
And here's the thing. Zayn is very talented. He can definitely sing. I do like his songs. But here's the thing. This guy, he barely performs live. Do you know of a Zayn tour?
No.
Exactly. He doesn't perform. And that's where you make the most of your money as an artist, by selling tickets, selling merch, blah, 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 VIP tickets, whatever, meet and greet. This guy barely performs live, and he always says he has anxiety, which, okay, I'm going to spare him. But here's the thing. On the low, on the conspiracy side, what the streets say is that he is a drug addict. And listen, when you are struggling with that kind of addiction and that disease, like, it's hard to be, like, emotionally stable because you're easily irritated. Like, you're going through a lot of stuff. It's not the easiest thing to go through. So, do I believe that he struck her? Yes. And do I believe he's done that to Gigi? Yes. Because if you're going to do that to someone's mom, your partner's mom, who's to say you haven't done that to your partner?
Mm-hmm. I know, that's true. I didn't even think about that. They probably have a toxic relationship and we just have no idea. Like, she probably wants to keep the image that, like, they're a happy family, they have a 1-year-old. But, when you get the mom involved, like, no, she won't stand for it.
So on Instagram, Gigi and Zayn, they still follow each other. And the whole thing is just like, it's not funny and it's not something I find interesting. It's like kind of sad. And here's the thing, like, Zayn obviously needs help if he's being abusive. And of course, like, it's true, we weren't there, we don't know everything. But for your partner's mom to have to file charges with you and then you decide to not contest, like, oh, his reputation is going down for sure.
It's not like he hasn't even been around in the limelight too. He's just not meant to be a celebrity. Let's just say that. He's
I
not meant to be
agree.
the limelight. If you have anxiety, like, from all this, I mean, that's why he left One Direction. Like, just, like, move to Montana and, like, find solace there or something. I don't know.
And
But
their
yeah.
relationship, Gigi and Zayn, were on and off, on and off. And there was, like, suspicions that they started off as a PR couple, and then they ended up, like, liking each other and dating for real. And then they have a kid together now, so they're stuck together forever in a way. So this situation is just, if I feel like it's just kind of like it sheds light to how hard it is to leave, like, a domestic abusive relationship, because one, they have a kid together, and before that it's just like you have these attachments to people, and it's, I don't know, I feel like Gigi's gonna make a post one day. She's gonna be like, it's domestic abuse partner month. Like,
I
I don't
know.
mean to be funny, but I feel like she is such a good candidate to talk about that when she feels like it's her time, if she ever wants to. I feel like no one can force her to talk about it, especially right now.
I mean, but good for her for this breakup, though. Like, and she didn't, like, stand by him or anything. Like, she did break up with him according to what it's purported. So good, like, that's the first step. And yeah, this is just, like, a hard situation, but I mean, we'll see what happens. But I hope they stay apart.
Yeah,
Or
that man has a lot to work on. His performing, like, his career, the way he treats women. Oh Lord.
wait, are we talking about Chris Brown? I'm just kidding.
No.
Just kidding.
And you know what? Let's also talk about what those two have in common. Not only do they have a song together, but also they have pretty privilege. Like, do you know the intensity of, like, what people face when they're labeled as criminals and they look like a criminal? But when you are good looking and handsome and attractive, sometimes the consequences are not as serious as they should be. Like, that's why Chris Brown still has a career, is because the girls love him. They love how he looks. And Zayn is not ugly, so God, I feel like this man, he might still continue to sing and release music. But will he perform? We don't know.
Yeah, exactly. And then I hate to mention this, but someone commented or responded to Gigi trying to keep themselves relevant. It was I forgot his name. It's one of the Paul brothers.
Oh.
super
God.
annoying one.
Was he
But
like flirting with her?
no, because I guess before, like, he made like a comment about Zayn before, and Gigi defended him. This is like years ago. Gigi defended Zayn, saying like, oh, like he's not doing like, I forgot what it was, but she was basically putting Jake Paul in his place, and then Jake Paul today comments on that old post where Gigi put Jake Paul down, and he puts oh, what does he put? Zayn is a respectable man. He punched your mom in the face. And I'm just like, oh my god, you're such a like idiot. Stop trying to make yourself relevant and comment on this shit. It was just so annoying when I saw that.
Yes. So I'm on his Twitter. He said, "Your quote quote respectful king punched your mom in the face."
Yeah, that was just like unnecessary.
God, I'm just like, wow. Good thing Zayn doesn't have that much like music out there. So who knows what's going to happen to him. I don't think this is going to be good for him because he is really big and famous, but is he as big as Harry? Like, I feel
No.
like Harry's made a name for himself outside of One Direction.
Oh yeah, I think Zayn is honestly, it's just his reputation from being in One Direction.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, like, you don't really hear about him except for being Gigi Hadid's baby daddy, you know? I mean, really.
Okay, enough about him. No more airtime for him.
This talk about Selena Gomez and Captain America.
Yes,
You
Chris
know,
Evans. PR, PR, PR.
okay, first of all, when I heard about this, I was like, this is like the weirdest like couple. I just can't even imagine them standing next to each other. Like it's just so out of place for me. And then a video comes out of Chris Evans on the piano, and there's like I guess a reflection in the corner of like brown hair, and everyone's like, "It's Selena Gomez!" And I looked at the video and I was like, I mean, there's brown hair, but it's such a push for people to be like, "It is Selena Gomez." I know it is. I don't know, but I thought it was funny.
Oh my God. Listen, we need to study this phenomenon called Selena Gomez stans because they go above and beyond of any fan. They will defend her till their own death. Because one time I commented on YouTube, like, oh, she can't really sing. A fan went and messaged me on YouTube. This is a long time ago, back when you could message YouTubers. And she was like, let me see how you can sing. Like, I don't think you can sing better than Selena. She's probably prettier than you too. I was like, wow. The devotion, like has she met you? Has she touched your life? Has she hugged you? It's so insane to me that it just goes beyond being like, oh, like I'm a fan to like I will protect you and I will. Oh my God.
Yeah, those are diehard fans to go and like actually direct message you.
Mm-hmm.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, the diehard fans it's an anomaly. I need to study them. I want to know what drives them to defend someone so hard. Anyways, the rumor about them, it's just a rumor. Okay, so he followed her on Instagram. Of course, it's the game of publicity. You follow me, I follow you. Someone's gonna write a news article about it. We both get more fans, more traction. And is he not in the new Buzz Lightyear movie?
Yes,
Girl.
it's all a plan.
And she's on Only Murders in the Building. She had a song with Coldplay coming out. Like, nothing new. It doesn't faze me. I do not believe it. I won't believe she's dating anyone, even if she was on the red carpet with them, because her and The Weeknd was not real to me. It was PR. They looked so awkward on the Met Gala. Like, even on a red carpet, the couples are fake, you guys. Open your eyes.
Dude, you best believe Selena Gomez is gonna be invited to that Buzz Lightyear premiere. You know
Oh.
it. But like speaking of Selena, I actually where did I see this? I think I saw a clip on YouTube or something. But did you know she doesn't actually like have social media? She actually tells her assistant and sends pictures to her assistant and tells her what to post. Apparently
Yeah,
she's been for like the past 3 years.
Yeah, I did hear that. I heard that she doesn't have the app on her phone, like the Instagram app on her phone. It's interesting because at one point she was the most followed person on Instagram. It's like, how do you achieve that if you didn't have the app on your phone? No, my theory is that she did buy a lot of her followers, but anyway.
I don't think she needs to buy followers though.
Back then,
Oh,
I
back
feel like she is a staple, but like, is she the most talented actress? Is she the most amazing singer? It's like, it makes sense as to why like Taylor and Ariana have so many followers because their talent is like, it can't be denied. But at the same time, it's like, I don't know. Maybe I'm not playing devil's advocate. I'm just being like a little bit of a hater. Maybe I've just consumed too many conspiracy theories about her.
Maybe. That's cool though that she actually doesn't go on social media. I thought, like she says, and I quote from the video, I'm completely unaware of actually what's going on in pop culture, and that makes me really happy. And don't we all want that?
No, I love pop culture. I live for the culture.
Okay,
Oh
true.
my gosh.
I love pop culture. It's actually just like being off my personal social media. I feel like like you sometimes you just don't want to be on it. You're like comparing yourself to like your peers and stuff. Pop culture is different. I have a completely different Instagram where I just follow celebrities.
Mhm.
and, and I'm on that Instagram page more than anything. So
Mm,
I guess I resonated her there, like pop culture, because she is part of pop culture. She doesn't want to be part of it. So I get it how it's like she just does want to know what's going on, you know?
true. True. It's different for her. And I feel like a lot of it ties back to her mental health and how her rare beauty makeup brand is like donating money to like go towards mental health efforts and stuff. And I just like thought about myself. I recently just like unfollowed over 100 people on Instagram and I feel so much better because it's different from deactivating your Instagram and not being on it because yes, I love not being on it, but then when I come back, I see the same people I've been trying to avoid. So I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna unfollow you, and it's only Instagram. Like, who cares? So I mean, as in, like, who cares if they unfollow me too? It's like it's a mutual separation. What have you been watching?
Okay, so I watched the movie Dune. Did you see the commercial for that movie?
No, I know that Zendaya is there, and I think Tom Holland, her boyfriend.
Oh no, it's Timothy Chalamet. You always confuse them.
Oh my god, there's like these two little white boys with brown hair. Like, how am I supposed to tell them apart?
Yeah, it has Timothy Chalamet. Um, okay, this movie got out like a high score on Rotten Tomatoes, and I don't get it. I just don't get it. If you were to watch it, tell me if you like it or not, because I just don't understand it. And Zendaya is only in it like the last 30 minutes. I was literally like, okay, I wanted to post a story of me watching it, and I was literally holding up my phone to my face, waiting for Zendaya to pop up on the screen. And like 10 minutes passed by. I'm like, okay, I freaking give up. I'm like just waiting for her to come on. I'm like, dude, like she's doing so much press. She's the press tour for this film. Like she's everywhere with Timothy Chalamet, and I'm like, why? Why? I was upset that Zendaya wasn't in it as much as I thought she was. But I'm glad that I didn't have to pay for it because I watched it on HBO Max. So no money wasted there. But yeah,
I feel like they put Zendaya because she's a rising star. So I feel like maybe the other actors and actresses weren't as popular.
I mean, they like left room for a second movie to come along, but the first movie didn't capture me at all in order to want to watch a second movie, unless I know Zendaya is gonna be in there.
Hmm.
Well, 100% of the movie in every damn scene, I will watch it then. Other than that, the movie was whatever to me.
Well, I know it's been a while since we recorded, but I finished Squid Game and I finished Kim's Convenience, and I'm like, do I have a crush on Simu Liu? I don't know.
Girl, you've been asking yourself this for a few weeks now, and I think it's safe to say you do have a crush on CB. I think it's safe to say that now.
He's funny. He has a nice body. He's Chinese. I think my mom would like him.
Mother approved.
Exactly. Okay, so when I finished Squid Game, I was like, oh my god, seriously? The ending, like, I cannot believe the ending. I was like, season 2, I don't know how it's gonna be. Like, I don't know.
I was pissed at the ending. Okay, spoiler if you have not watched Squid Game, but when he didn't get on that plane, I was like, are you kidding me? Like, where's the love for your daughter? And it really upset me. But it took me to have to watch the analyses on YouTube to appreciate the ending afterwards. But that just really ticked me off when I first watched it.
Okay, yeah, I was being a little bit vague about the ending because I didn't want to spoil it. But you know what? It's been a couple months since Squid Game came out. And you didn't watch it, or you didn't. Anyways, I too watched some analysis on YouTube, and I feel like the cinematography and the script and just the acting really makes you feel, even for like the evil characters, like the front man. It's like, okay, dang, he really shot his brother, but he didn't kill his brother. He only shot his brother in the shoulder. So who knows? His brother might still be alive, the cop.
Mm.
And the end, when you find out it's the old man, player number 1, who was leading the games, funding the games, what have you. What the analysis on YouTube made me realize is like the player that won, he isn't the best like moral standing, good-hearted character, because he made a bet with the old man saying like, okay, if someone does help the homeless guy, like, you better tell me all the answers that I have about this game. When he could have just gone down and helped the homeless man himself instead of being part of the game. Like,
Yeah.
making that bet, it's like you are also you're being compliant as well. You're part of the whatever have you. So that's when I was like, okay. And the fact that he didn't go visit his daughter, like, seriously, you entered in the games because of her and also your mom. And I had a feeling that when he went home, like, I had a feeling his mom was going to be gone. Like,
Oh my god, yes. And see, that was the thing when I was like, when you were in the games, you missed the end of your mom's life. Like, you missed like precious time with her. And then he's about to get on a plane to spend time with his daughter, and he's literally going back for the games again. And I'm
mm-hmm.
like, this is so ridiculous. But okay, I'm just thinking now, like, people are saying that this is gonna be a second season to Squid Games just because of all the money that it's got in Netflix and such.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, he's been working on Squid Games since 2008 or something. Like, can they pull off a great season 2, or should they just leave it at the high that it's on right now?
I think they should just leave it, because cliffhangers are the best and the worst at the same time, because you're like, oh, like, you want to satisfy that need to know what's going to happen next, but at the same time, the cliffhanger, it's just better to leave it at that, because what if the second season doesn't, like, it's pale in comparison to the first season, and second of all of the main characters died already. It's going to be the one guy and the front man and maybe his brother cop, but it's like, who would you, I don't know. And I don't know.
Exactly.
And realistically, like, is he even going to win all the games again? Are they even going to have the same games again? Like, I don't know. He should just really went to that freaking plane to Los Angeles. Los Angeles. Like, you went through all that trouble because you wanted to be able to provide for your daughter so that she could stay with you in Korea. And she ended up moving to America anyways, and now you're trying to see her. Oh, God. Mm-mm. He is not the angel. He's not the angel.
No, he's definitely just. It's just gonna be repeat itself, and that's why I agree. I think that there shouldn't be a season 2. I think it won't match up to, like, what season 1 has done for Squid Games. I'd rather it just keep that name, and like people are just like, people just make their own endings, and I feel like, that's why like some movies when they do continue, like, part 2, part 3, like, it kind of just dies off. Like, do you want to keep continuing something and just like the love for it kind of die, or just kind of keep people wanting more, like, and create even better films similar to it? Like, we'll see what happens, but I like where it's at, and I just don't want them to ruin like all this discussion and talk about it.
I agree. I feel like even with one season, there's so much to analyze because there's so many complex characters, there's so many storylines, and I feel like there's even film details that we missed because we're just like finishing it so fast. But if you rewatch it again, there's gonna be like small details in the background that you catch. So I feel like it's definitely a show you do have to rewatch maybe 2 or 3 times, like really sit down and watch all the details. Like I feel like when I watched it, I focused on the winner a lot and the girl. But now it's like, okay, if I rewatch it, I would probably focus on Sangwoo and the guy with the missing fingers who worked at the leather factory.
Dude, I don't think I could rewatch that. I'm just like not. I can't. The gore is just
Yeah.
a little much for me. Not my type of films. Like I got through Squid Games. But I don't know if I could do it again. Like I would love to watch it just for like the storyline again, and just like just, like you said, like see all the clues behind the scenes. But the blood, man, I don't know. We'll see. If someone else watches it, I will like just watch it over their shoulder. But I will not choose to watch that again. But I'm fine with that.
For some reason, I am not scared or bothered by it because I know at the end of the day it's fake. And also, I feel like I'm not easily scared anymore. Sadly, I went to Hollywood Horror Nights and I didn't get scared. I'm like, dang, like what's wrong with me?
That must be nice. I was talking to my cousin about this. I'm like, I don't understand because people are always like, oh, why don't you go to horror nights? Why don't you watch scary movies? I'm just like, no, that's not my genre. And the reason being, I don't understand how people are able to watch these things and just not apply it to their own real life. It's what I do. I watch scary movies and then I'm like, okay, so this is how I could get killed. This thing could appear in front of me. Anything I watch, it could happen to me in real life. Zombies, that could happen to me. And that is why I refuse to watch all these scary movies, go to like horror nights and all that stuff because you know what? I don't need to bring this onto my real life. I rather keep that separate.
You don't want to attract that kind of energy.
Exactly. So,
Meanwhile, I would like to go back to horror nights and I would like to buy the $300 fast pass so that I can go to every single maze. Anything else?
little quick bit. What's her name? Lachlan? Lori Loughlin. Lori, is it Lachlan? The USC scandal mom.
Oh, yeah.
So she will be paying for 2 students' ride to college and whatever sources that they need, which I heard is what is it? 4-year college tuition and expenses totaling more than $500,000. Yep, you need to be doing that.
Okay.
And hopefully
Okay.
to rifle students that need it.
I see. I give her a little brownie point. And it's like, you didn't have to spend $500,000 on other children's education if you just did the right thing and let your kid actually apply to colleges and get in on their own.
Yeah,
Anyways, I'm surprised she was not like a real housewife of Beverly Hills or something. That's the franchise I've been dipping my toes into. I've just been watching clips because I watched The Real and I love Garcelle. And Garcelle is on Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. And I've been talking to my friend Andrew. He's really into them. And the scandal and the plot line of this season. Well, there's this woman in there. Her name is Erica Jane, and her husband is Tom Girardi. So her full name is like Erica Girardi. He's a lawyer, but here's the thing: he owes millions of dollars in settlement fees because he would not pay out the victims that he represented. So there was one victim, two. Well, okay, one because he was in a house and the gas exploded. So he and the lawyer Tom Girardi, Erica Jane's husband, sued PG&E, got $12 million, and the victim has not seen all 12 million. And listen, in the explosion, he and his, I think, fiance were in there. The fiance did not survive, and he barely survived. So not only did he lose his skin and stuff and his house, he also lost his future wife. So you would think that's terrible enough, but here's the thing: the lawyer has done that to multiple victims.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. And Erica Jane answered an interview before, like, oh, how much does it cost to look like you? Glam hair outfits. She said $40,000 a month.
Oh my gosh.
So
And
people think that the husband has siphoned some money into her accounts, and it's like, you have millions of dollars. Like, they can't just come out of nowhere. Like, that kind of money doesn't just pop out of nowhere. It comes from somewhere.
scandalous.
Scandalous.
Well, on that note, we were just yapping today because that's what happens when you miss a week.
Okay, hope you guys enjoy this episode.
Thank you for listening.
Bye.
Bye.